Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So, this has been happening for the past maybe 3 days or so. You might have seen other YouTubers talking about this, but the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, also known as ScratchiCati, has been receiving a just shocking amount of hate after he recently came out saying that the money he was getting out of his games were going to political or Republican like groups. So that basically means if you were people buying his games, that your money could possibly be going to Republican organizations. Now, when you think about it, you're like, oh well, that's not good, but it's not really, you know, that bad. And I agree with you. But some people took it just too far that people started sending death threats and just horrible stuff to Scott Cawthon. And currently Scott right now, he's going through a lot of family stuff. I think he's having a baby or something, and his mother was receiving a lot of death threats too. So he posted on his Reddit page a couple days ago. It could very well be his last post, and I wanted to go over this because just reading it makes me feel just really sorry for him, and, it just kind of makes me want to, just talk about it in the sense that, stuff is going on. So, I'm gonna go react to it now. I will see you guys then. Alright, so we are here. This is the post. Thank you to Michael1, for sending this to, or sending this on Twitter so I can read it. My response, and maybe my last post, posted by Scott Cawthon, and this was June 12th, 2021. So, that was about 5 days ago-ish. This message isn't specifically directed at the Reddit community. This is just the community that I care about the most and where I choose to post these things. I never cared much for Twitter anyway. To say that the last days have been surreal would be an understatement. I've debated greatly how best to address this, including not addressing it at all. But with so many people from the LGBT community and the fan base that I love, that's not an option. I would like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I treat people. But there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she is spending the last night in fear because of what is being said online. She has been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her afraid really scared me. All this because I exercised my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote for and support the candidates who I felt best run the country for everyone, and that's something that I won't apologize for. For those who took the time to look, you saw the candidates I supported, including men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats. I supported Kimberly Kalsick in Baltimore because I believed that she cared for the African American community there and wanted to pull them out of poverty. I believe she could have really made a difference in a time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately. I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagree with her on several issues, because I felt she would have been good and a fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump, because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to America's enemies abroad, of which there are many. If there were candidates who had better things to say about the LGBT community directly and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing much greater harm to those communities than good. All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted, as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. They want endless apologies and submission. People who are expecting those from me will get neither. I've always been supportive of creators, and have tried to treat everyone fairly, and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people. Everyone the same, and because of that, I've ended up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional. It just happened that way. I choose people who are best for the job. I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life, in my professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way it will continue to be. I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God. I also believe in equality and science and in common sense. Despite what some might say, all those things can go together. That's not an apology or promise to change. It's the way it's always been. If I get canceled, then I get canceled. I do not do this for money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get canceled and retire. I would accept that. That I've had a fulfilling career. Besides most things that people can take from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I've always loved and will continue to love this community and this fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore. So that is what Scott Cawthon said. I'm sorry that I was stuttering a lot. I'm not the greatest reader, so I was, because I've never really read this before, so I was just kind of, saying it out loud, and just kind of reading through it. So that was a very interesting message, to say the least. And to be honest, because I'm someone who has huge empathy towards one another's, I really feel bad for the place he's in. This is not needed at all, and it should have never happened. Even if he was doing this, which is certainly not good, it's his opinion and it's his beliefs, and we can't just totally cyberbully people just because of their beliefs. That's like going to a grocery store and robbing someone just because they're Republican. So, just in the end, I give him a lot of credit for standing up against people who were, I don't know, a part of his community and turned on him because of his beliefs. I think this was just really, really, really overthought, really taken seriously, which it shouldn't have been. And it's just crazy. And I think a lot of the things that he said were very true. The fact that people don't really like to talk about politics because of the state that we're in right now. And I totally understand it. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please support Scott Cawthon because he's a good content creator. I posted a FNAF video on my channel once, and it did decent. So at least show him some support if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And also, before I go, thank you so much for 45 subs. Dog reveal will be tomorrow. So I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.